Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer and this is Tea Time Diaries. In today's video, we're going to be talking about tea party activities. I recently had a poll on Instagram, and by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, then make sure that you do so. I'm always posting content there on all things tea, and recently I had a poll, like I said, and it was on what video you guys wanted to see next. So I had tea party activities as well as my china collection, and at first it was a 50-50 between both, but then the tie was broken and tea activities did win. So in this video I'll be discussing that, but in my next video I will be showing you guys my tea collection, well, my china collection, for those of you who wanted to see that. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some activities that we had, well, that I had with my friends in a recent party. So this past October, I had a birthday and I celebrated with my close friends and family. Of course, I did that by having a tea party, and I will be sharing some pictures with you guys at the end of the video so you can see the decorations, how I set up the table. But I'm not going to be giving a whole lot of details on the party. The focus of this video is going to be on the activities that we did that day. And I will include as many pictures as I can. Honestly, that day I just wanted to enjoy the moment with my friends and family. So I did take photos, but most of my photos were with my guests. And obviously for reasons of privacy, I'm not going to show all of the photos, but I did take some nice ones of the decorations, and I'll include that at the end. But let's talk about the things that we did. So when you're throwing a party, it all depends on what kind of party you're throwing. So obviously if this was like a party at a venue somewhere, you'd probably have a DJ and music, people would dance, and they would be entertained the whole night that way. But a tea party is a lot more intimate, and the environment of the tea party is generally very calm and relaxed. It's a great type of party for having conversations, you know, and just getting to know the other person or the people at the party. And that's really what I wanted the party to be like. I wanted to be just all of my friends and close family gathering together and just having a nice relaxed time, sipping on some tea, having some delicious food, some amazing pastries. And I have to say that it really was that. And the way that I achieved it is, of course, having some appropriate tea party activities. And by appropriate, I just mean that it was fun and entertaining, but it wasn't anything that was loud and over the top. Everyone was just very calm. And I have to say that I achieved what I wanted, which was everyone to get to know each other a little bit more. So I do have mutual friends that, you know, they know each other, right? But not all of my friends are friends. And so it was really nice to be able to see everyone interacting and getting to know each other. So that was really, really a lot of fun. So let's talk about how I was able to do this at the party. The very first game that we did, and this was something that I did immediately as my guests were arriving. So as my guests arrived, I would greet them, of course, say hi, and then I would hand them a sheet like this one. And I'm going to include a picture of this in the video. This is not the one that I used exactly. What I did was that I created my own, but I was not able to find it in my files. So I just looked for one that was similar to it. Now this is made specifically for like a bridal shower, but the idea is exactly what I did. So what I did was, the title of the game remained the same and the rules are the same. So this says, find the guest. The objective is for you to mingle with some other guests and find someone who matches each of the descriptions below. And so you have to write down their name. And of course, the person who had the most in common with another person, I gave them a prize. Now you don't have to give prizes if you don't want to. I just like to give things away. So I made sure that I did that. But that's not something that's necessary. It just added a little bit of extra fun. Don't tell your guests that, of course. You don't want anyone cheating, but it was more so like at the end, surprise, you had the most things in common here. This is for you. But, you know, the person would put their name on the top and then the names of the guests that shared that common thing with them would go on the lines over here. So, of course, I know all of my guests. So I did kind of alter the questions a little bit and put in some of my own questions. So some of the questions that they have here are similar to the ones that I had on the sheet for my party. So for example, one of the questions here is find someone who is the same age as you. So I definitely included that because I have a lot of friends who are similar age groups. Find someone who is related to, in this case it says the bride, but it could be to the birthday girl, someone who speaks a second language. I had find someone who went, and I named the high school that I knew most of the people went to that high school. So just a lot of different things. I put, you know, the name of someone who's wearing the same colored shoes as you, or the same color top, or has the same birthday month. Someone who has this amount of children or who has a pet. I mean, the types of questions that you can add onto your sheet are pretty much unlimited. You can write as many as you want. And I just found that it was a really good way to kind of force people to talk to each other and get to know each other, right? Because it's a game, it's interactive. Everyone is supposed to, you know, be doing it. And I have to say that it's a big hit. Everyone, you know, they sat together while they were eating their food. They were just kind of talking and asking people questions. And the objective of the party, which was for everyone to get to know each other a little bit better, I definitely think that it was achieved by playing this game. Again, it's called Find the Guest. And it was really great. And I printed these, you know, like I said, I created my own, but you can print something like this online. I found this for free. I just copied the picture, pasted it on a Word document, and I printed it. So it's very simple to do. And you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, just a little bit of ink and paper. And yeah, like I said, it was a really big hit. And I found that a lot of my guests have a lot of things in common. So that's fun. The next thing that we did, which was also a lot of fun and again, inexpensive, because it was just a pen and paper game. So I gave everyone a sheet of paper and something to write with. And I told them that we were going to play Boggle. So if you know Boggle, it's a word game. And a lot of times teachers, they play this game with their children. So it's a children's game to help them to know, you know, words. But it is pretty entertaining and it gets people thinking. And I even had some of my guests like working as a team, trying to get as many words in. But I did have my one guest, which is my cousin, who actually is a school teacher, and of course she won because she's a school teacher and she does this with her students all the time. So she had the most words. But if you don't know what Boggle is, you pick a word or a phrase. In this case, I picked the phrase Jennifer's tea party, right? Jennifer's tea party. And the guests have to come up with as many words as they possibly can with the letters that are in the phrase, in the sentence, Jennifer's tea party, right? So that's all they have to do. It's pretty simple. So they go through all of the letters and they write down as many words. Now, of course, I was timing them because I didn't want to give them too much time to do this. But I think I gave them maybe between 5 and 10 minutes. I don't remember exactly, but I gave them a set amount of time to do it. And once the timer was over, I collected all the papers and I just made sure that they actually had real words on there. And the person who got the most words, of course, got a prize. So that was another really great and fun game, and like I said, inexpensive, because all you need is some paper and something to write with. Pens, pencils, it doesn't matter. Just distribute them to your guests. The next game that we didn't actually get to play this one at the party, but I did have the intention to do it, but we just got carried away with other stuff, and it was really good. I didn't miss it, but it is a good idea. So I wasn't able to find my big ball of yarn, so I just have this little one here, this little sample here of yarn. But basically it's called Take a Yarn, Tell a Yarn. And again, it's a pretty inexpensive game to play because you just need a lot of yarn. So as your guests walk in, or at any point in the party, you want to tell your guests, look, we're gonna play a game, it involves yarn. Just grab as much yarn as you think you're gonna need. And of course, they might ask you questions to try to find out what they need the yarn for and how much they should take, but you tell them it's up to you. Grab as much or as little as you want. And so essentially, depending on how much yarn the person takes, that's how much they have to tell you about themselves. So for example, if I grabbed a really long piece of yarn, then I would have to keep kind of like folding it, and every time I fold it over, I would have to tell you a fact about myself, right? So, you know, my name is Jennifer. I have a YouTube channel, right? So you just keep on kind of twirling it around until you didn't have any yarn anymore. So that's why it's called Take a Yarn and Tell a Yarn. It's another way to help people to get to know each other. So I think it's another really great activity to do to get people talking and just to learn more about your friends and family. I know that it doesn't matter how much you talk to someone, there's always something new that you can learn about that person that makes you appreciate them just a little bit more. So that was another game idea. Like I said, I didn't really actually get to implement it that day because we were busy doing other things, but the other two games we did play, and like I said, it was a hit. Now, for the last activity that I'm going to share with you guys, this one does take a little bit more, I don't want to say a little bit more, it takes a lot more preparation, and you will spend a little bit more on this, but I guarantee you that it is really fun to do, and it serves a multi-purpose. So you guys already know from my other videos, like I love things that serve more than one purpose. So we did string art. And this is the one that I made to show my guests exactly what it is that they had to do. So like I said, this will take some more preparation, and it does cost a little bit more than the other games. But if the other games are inexpensive, then you're really just spending a little bit more on this. And like I said, it has a dual function. So the second function, aside from giving your guests something fun to do at your party, would be that they can take this home as a favor. And so, you know, if the person really likes their piece that they made and they want to display it for a really long time, every time they look at it, they're going to remember how much fun they had at your party, and it'll be a nice little keepsake for them. So it has two functions. So I think it is a good investment, and it really wasn't that expensive. So let's talk about what it is that you're going to need. So you're going to need a block of wood. This one's a few inches thick. It's not really that thick. And they do sell these in packs on Amazon, but I didn't get mine on Amazon. I was a little weary about getting it on Amazon because I wasn't sure if it was going to be the exact thickness that I needed. I will link the ones that I found on Amazon. I'll link them in the video, but like I said, I didn't try those. What I did was that I went to Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever, you know, home improvement store you have around you. And I got a big slab of wood, and I went to my dad and I asked if he could help me just make these little 6x6 squares. So depending on the size that you want, you can go a little smaller, you could do 4x4, or you can do a little bit bigger. But I thought 6x6 was a perfect size. So he cut these for me. And I was able to get the amount that I needed from the one piece of wood. I want to say maybe I had about 12 to 13 people over for that party. So I think I even had an extra one. So I was able to get the pieces that I need, 6 by 6. And the next thing that you want to do is you want to print out your design. So you're going to print out your design and you're just going to put it over and you're going to put the nails. Now I will insert a clip that shows you exactly how I put the nails in and follow the design and how I even put the string. So I'm going to insert that clip next. But before you take a look at that, I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, this was a really fun project for the guests. Like I said, a little bit more money, but not too expensive. The only thing I purchased was the nails. The nails I did get on Amazon, and they were the perfect size because they are really, really tiny, as you'll see in the next video, in the next clip. They're really small, but I did get those on Amazon, and I will link those. They were not expensive though, and they do come with quite a few in the pack. So just the wood, the nails, and then the string. I was actually able to get the string on sale at Michael's. I had a coupon, and I think they were on sale already, if I'm not mistaken. So either that or I had points. I know that it was really, really inexpensive. So I just got a big, actually I have the pile right here. So I'll show you guys. There was a big bag, and there was a bunch of string, all different colors. So I just put it in a basket. I let everyone pick their own. And you'll see in some of the pictures towards the end that the guests had theirs on the table with them. Some of them were already finished, so you'll be able to see what everyone did. But basically, they pick the colors that they want. They could do everything just one color, or they can do 2 colors. Most people did 2 colors because I'm not sure if you can tell, but there is a heart in the middle of the teapot. And it's really, really simple to do. I demonstrated to my guests exactly what they needed to do, but I also let them know that there's no right or wrong way to do string art, at least none that I know. I was able to make this on my own. You know, I think it looks pretty decent, right? I was happy with it. So I just basically told them there's no wrong or right way to do it. You just kind of follow a pattern that you make yourself, and just make sure you get the string all over each little nail. So I think it's a really simple craft to do, but it's also a lot of fun, and it helps people get in touch with their creative side, even if they don't consider themselves to be too creative. There were some guests that I had to kind of help them with the string a little bit because they had a little bit of a challenge with it. But even those who did struggle a little bit towards the end got the hang of it, and they were like, oh, this is great. So it was a lot of fun. They enjoyed it. We all took a picture at the end, each of us holding our little teapot string art. So that was a hit as well. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that we did for the tea party that I have for my birthday. So like I said, I'm going to include the clips showing you exactly how to go about making the string art. All right, so to begin, you're going to take your picture and you're going to print it and just put it over the block of wood. In this case, of course, I use a teapot with a heart design in the middle. And you want to use some tweezers, like I'm using here in the clip, to grab hold of the nails, because the nails are very, very small. And if you use your fingers, you're not really going to be able to grasp the nail properly and keep it propped up so you can hammer it. So use the tweezers or even pliers if you have them, and you're going to have a much easier time nailing it. You know, they might slip every once in a while, but all of this is prep. If you do it beforehand with a lot of time, you should be fine. And then as far as spacing everything, you want to space it, I want to say about a ½ inch, and just basically trace around the entire design. So here's a photo of how I traced the entire design with the nails. And as you can see, some of the nails in the smaller parts, like for example the top of the teapot, are a little bit closer together, but once I got to the bigger parts, I did space them out, like I said, about a half an inch. And another tip is don't nail the nails too far in. So don't put them too close to the wood. You want to keep a good amount of space because you're going to be using the string and you'll be going around with the string a couple of times. And so you want to make sure that there's enough thickness between, or enough space between the nails and the wood, so that as the string gets thicker, you still have enough space to put everything in. All right, so now we're going to start putting the string around. So you want to, of course, make a knot on wherever you start. And then once you make that knot, you're just going to start going around once each nail. So as you can see, I go around the nail once and then I go towards the next nail. And all I'm doing is just following the shape of the design. So I'm basically tracing it with the string. And as you can see, I just go to the nail, twirl it around, then go to the next one, and I'm gonna trace it all around until I get back to my starting point, at which that point I'm just going to make another knot and just cut the string, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move towards the actual designing part. And that's what I'm doing here. I am doing a design, and the design I'm doing is very simple. I'm just trying to create triangles here. Now, as I mentioned before in the video, there's no right or wrong way to do this, and you can do any kind of design that you want. It really doesn't matter. You have total creative freedom here to do any kind of pattern that you want. I just found it easier to make these triangle shapes, and so that's what I was doing here. I was just picking a starting point and twirling it around the nail one time, and then moving on to the next nail and creating the shape of the triangle. So that was what I was doing here. And like, if you can see that I'm struggling a little, it's just because I didn't leave enough space in between the nails. But like I mentioned before, as a tip, it's a good idea to not put the nails in too much. So don't hammer them in too much, and that will prevent that from happening. But as you can see here in this clip, I'm just using a tweezer to pull the string down. So if you pull the string down, then you'll have enough space. And what I'm doing here is that I'm utilizing a different color, a purple color, in order to outline the heart. And then I just moved on to making a design within the heart, which was the triangles as well. This is what the final product looks like. As you can see, I have the two distinct colors, the pink outline on the outside with the triangles, and then the purple heart on the inside using the same type of triangle pattern. And so, like I said, if you prepare everything in advance, which will take you a little bit of time, because like I said, getting all the nails in is a little bit tedious, but I did have help. I recruited my sister and my brother-in-law, and they did help me, so it made the process a lot quicker. We got it done in about an hour, just all of us working together. And yeah, it gets done pretty quickly. Once you have all of the nails in, then the rest of it is up to your guests. They're the ones who are going to design it and put the string on it. And if you just remind your guests to not think about it too much and just use their creativity, then they're gonna have an absolutely fabulous time doing this craft. And here are the pictures that I promised that I would include at the end of the clip of the tea party that I had for my birthday. So you guys can see here in this picture the setup that I had, and you can see some of the girls working on their craft. Some of them were kind of still in the middle of it, while others were pretty much already done. And then as far as the remaining pictures, just showing you some of the decorations, the teacups and the teapots that I used, as well as the dessert table that I had featured there with all of the yummy desserts that I had for my guests. So like I said, I'm not giving too many details on the party itself, because this video is more so on the activities that were done for the party. But I really do hope that you guys enjoyed all of my tips on activities to do for a tea party, and you guys can let me know in the comments below which activity was your favorite and which ones you plan to try at your next gathering. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to do so. As always, have a terrific day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.